What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk to you about my COVID-19 experience. It is currently August 20th, 2021. I am still in recovery, but I want to go over my experience day by day, kind of like I want to call them like chapters, because that's really what this felt like. It felt like different chapters of an illness. And I want to go over things I did to help myself and keep myself well enough to get by, and then just kind of give you my opinions and go from there. So, like I mentioned, today is the 20th of August. I got sick. Well, I don't know if I got sick on the 2nd, but that's when I started to feel symptoms. So on the 2nd, I started to get an itch in my throat. I had a mild cough. Wasn't nothing too crazy. I went to work, and by went to work, I mean I worked from home. I got through the day, and I went to bed. When I woke up the next day, though, I wasn't feeling too hot, so I called out and kind of spent the day on the couch, watched Netflix. The things you do when you have a cold. I was just coughing. I had some fatigue, a mild headache. It was nothing too crazy. I thought of it jokingly, I was like, is this COVID? This doesn't seem like too bad at all. And then the next day came, and it kind of progressed a little bit, and I was like, I'm kind of getting sicker. So I had my wife take me to the drive-through, testing. And she had already been coughing as well. So we had gotten COVID as a family. And this is because we had just got back from a trip. And we're pretty sure we got it on the trip, but we don't know. We were back a couple days prior, so it could have happened in between that time too. It's just speculation. So day 3, I get my COVID test. We go to the drive-thru. I feel like crap. They swab my nose. I'm like, this is, it's not too bad. It's irritating, but it's not like horrible. Like some people cry about it, but it's not that painful. So I go home. I rest. Day 4 comes, and this is where things start to really suck. Like I can't even watch TV. It's so bad. So I get a fever, or I start having a fever, and the fever ranges anywhere from 100.4 all the way up to 102.8. It's constant. You have to actually break the fever, and it comes back constantly. It's continuous. And my cough started to get a lot worse at this point. I was coughing quite a bit, had more chest congestion. I couldn't breathe as easy. And this is where I was like, okay, I got COVID. I'm pretty confident. I don't have the test results yet. I'm pretty sure they're going to be positive, though, when I get them back. So day 5 comes. I'm still dealing with all the stuff. It's getting worse. More coughing, more headache, more fatigue. Fever's there. I have nausea. I can't keep anything down. I'm throwing up. I have diarrhea, all the worst stuff, right? Everything on the COVID list I had, except for the itchy skin, which I never got. So at this point, I ordered a pulse oximeter from Amazon, and I was like, okay, I gotta be on top of this. And I get my test results that day, and of course, I'm positive. And I'm like, okay, I kind of knew that was gonna happen. Given all the symptoms I was experiencing, I was like, there's no way I'm not positive for COVID at this point, because I have everything that COVID is, right? And my wife, she's starting to get the cough, and I'm just like, damn it. So we're resting up, right? She's resting, I'm resting. And from day 6 to day 10, it was a complete nightmare. Day 4 and 5 sucked, but day 6 through 10 were probably the worst days through the whole process that I went through. And I just had a continuous fever. I didn't eat anything. I actually didn't eat anything for 6 days. I had maybe a couple thousand calories the entire time, and I couldn't keep anything down. I lost a lot of weight. So I used to be a bigger guy. Look at my clothes, how they don't. I lost a lot of weight. So we're talking 15 pounds of just body weight. And it was a complete nightmare, Day 10 came, and I just, I'm just hanging in there as best I can. I'm like, I just wanted it to end. I was telling people it's about as I would say what it can be compared to is like you're being tortured, but you just don't know when the torture is going to end. You can't do anything about it. except medicate and hope that it helps. And honestly, medicating my symptoms did next to nothing. I just kind of suffered for days, and I couldn't sleep too much. When I did, it was a relief, thank goodness, because I wasn't awake to deal with the crap. But yeah, so day 11 comes, and that's where I start to kind of feel better. Like my fever breaks. I don't need or not Tylenol, but I don't need ibuprofen to keep my fever away. Like it just goes away. And I still feel like garbage, but man, I would rather feel like garbage than trash. And I can tell you it was a big difference. And today is technically day 19, and I'm still dealing with fatigue. I'm still dealing with a mild cough. You can probably hear the raspiness in my voice just because, I was coughing so much. And, I'm just kind of getting through it. My job's been really understanding of what I've been through. Luckily, I work for a really good company that does whatever they can to help you out. And for me, that's been a lifesaver. So I've been dealing with that. So yeah, that was my chapter by chapter experience. Some things that I did to help medicate my symptoms, and this may or may not work for you. I'm not a medical professional, so always check with your doctor. But I kept my fever down with ibuprofen every 4 to 6 hours I was taking it. There were times where I let my fever run to help my body fight COVID, which I would do again if I had to. I wasn't trying to keep my fever away constantly, and I wanted to give my liver and stuff a rest. I didn't want my liver constantly just under assault from like drugs, right? So I did that. I did something called proning. So when I needed to sleep or I needed some relief, I would lay on my stomach with one arm on my side and then another arm high. And it helped quite a bit. There were nights where, like, if I didn't prone, I wouldn't sleep. So there was that. I bought something called a pulse oximeter. You wear it on your finger, tells you your blood oxygen level, and you want it to be, I think it was 95 or higher. However, there were times where I was getting down to like 93, and that was my oxygen level was just lower. And it's because I had chest congestion. I wasn't having trouble breathing, but I definitely wasn't getting as much oxygen in my blood as I should have. And I talked to the doctors about this. They're like, we understand why you have low oxygen right now. We don't recommend you come into the ICU or anything. If it starts to dip and it gets down to like 90 and it gets really down there, you need to come in immediately though. So they told me, like, just keep an eye on it. So I was checking that thing pretty religiously a couple times a day, just kind of seeing where I'm at. I never got too bad, but I definitely recommend one if you do get COVID, just so you can monitor that, because your blood oxygen level is very important with COVID. It's what determines if you go into the ICU, basically, for the most part. And I was just constantly checking my fingers and my nails and my lips to make sure they weren't turning blue, just to make sure I didn't have, I think it was hypoxia. It's where you don't have enough oxygen in your blood. And I was just on top of that stuff. So I couldn't eat, so I just drank as much fluid as possible, mainly just water. I couldn't even really drink anything else. I don't recommend like sugary drinks because they just make you cough. Like 7-Up is not going to be the way to go. At least it wasn't for me. Just a lot of water. If and when you do get your appetite back, try to eat as much as you can. I mean, I just started wolfing stuff down. I still have smelling issues. My taste is pretty much back, though. I can taste most things. I can tell you when you can't taste it is the weirdest thing ever, and it does affect your ability to eat. Like, example would be crackers. Like, you eat a cracker, and I couldn't get the taste is what gets your saliva going, but my saliva would never come because my taste wasn't working. So I was just chewing and chewing and chewing. I had to use water a lot of time to get stuff down. And that was kind of one of the worst parts about eating, is just trying to get stuff down when you don't have taste buds. It's amazing how much taste comes into play when you're trying to eat. It really is. So there was that. And, those were just some things that I did. I mean, I medicated with extra stuff. like cough drops and things like that, and whatever the doctors prescribed me. But at the end of the day, it was just a battle. It was just letting your body try to heal, and you're just going to have to go through it. So if you are going through COVID, just know, yeah, it's going to suck for a couple days. It does get better. At least it did for me. Just stay on top of it. Drink your fluids. Monitor your oxygen. Don't be afraid to call your doctor as much as you need to. That's what they're there for. Like, be in communication with them. I don't think I ever called my doctor as much in a week as I did when I had, the main COVID symptoms. So yeah. As far as my final opinion, I'm more of a conservative guy. I do still believe that you have the right to make your health decisions. Now, with that being said, I want to make sure people understand what they're getting into when you make your health decisions. You may or may not get sick like me. My wife, she didn't really get too sick. I mean, she did. Like, she's still recovering too. It wasn't as bad as mine. She wasn't throwing up. She didn't have the fever. These are things I'm very grateful for. I'm happy she didn't have to go through all that because it was horrible. And my stepson, he didn't really get too sick at all. He maybe had a mild little cough for like a day or two, and he was done. Which we're really happy about because he's young. He's like an 8-year-old, and they can't even get vaccines. So technically, he kind of has a vaccine in a way because he has antibodies now. But we're just really fortunate that he didn't have to go through being really sick. It would have. It's one of the things that I'm very happy that we didn't have to experience. So with that being said, I didn't have the vaccine before this happened, and that was a decision that I made. I'm an adult. I made that adult decision. I dealt with the adult consequences of that decision. And the way I see it is this: you may or may not get sick. If you do get sick, it's gonna suck. It is not like a cold. It is not like a flu. This is something completely different, much, much worse than any cold or flu I've ever dealt with. Okay. So you're kind of playing with fire, and like I said, you may not even get sick. I don't know. It may or may not happen, but you may get sick, and there is some kind of solution out there. It's a vaccine. I still believe that people have the right to make their decision when it comes to the vaccine. If you want to get vaccinated, go for it. If you don't want to get vaccinated and you feel like you're not going to have to experience something bad, then maybe you won't, maybe you will. But if you get sick, you can't say people didn't tell you to, like they didn't tell you so. So if you're pro-vax, stop pushing it on people. That's my opinion. I wouldn't really push it on anybody. I would just educate people on what they're getting into. It's kind of like saying, hey, you're going to go to this war-torn country. Do you want a bulletproof vest? The bulletproof vest is going to make you look like you support the opposite political ideal set. And if people are like, I don't want the bulletproof vest, then it's like, well, damn, dude, like, you know what you're getting into, but I can't make you wear the thing, so that's how I look at it. I did have my eyes opened a little bit. I can't actually get a vaccine for 2 to 3 months now because I still have to get over my symptoms. Then I have to wait up to 90 days to actually get vaccinated if I choose to get vaccinated, which I probably will. By then, I'm sure it will probably be FDA approved. And that was my main pet peeve, is just this thing's not actually FDA approved yet. And they're currently technically testing as they give you the vaccine, and I don't really believe in that. But I think they'll have enough data by then to make that decision. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. At the end of the day, you have to make the decision that's best for you and your family, and whatever that may be, I just hope that you guys are healthy. I hope that you're staying safe, and just remember, you're not dealing with something that's fake. This is a real virus, and it affects everybody differently, and we all are technically in this together. Whether you believe you need a vaccine or not, we're all in this together, guys. So just keep that in mind. If you get sick, stay home, rest up. You will get through this. If you don't get sick, just keep your wits about you. Stay safe, and I hope that this video was helpful and gave you guys kind of an idea on what to expect if you do get sick. So that's it, guys. That's the video. I am going to go ahead and let y'all go now. I do plan on doing some how-to videos and some more stock videos. I haven't really had a chance to do stuff lately. Just thing after thing keeps happening to me, and I don't want this channel to die. I'm not going to let it die. But just keep in mind there may be a way that the channel structure changes. So keep an eye out. I'm going to have some how-to videos. Making hot sauce is the next one coming out, so keep that in mind. Anyway, guys, I'm rambling enough. I will see you all in the next one. I hope you're healthy and safe. Take care of yourselves. Peace.